Hey everybody, this is Gary Kay, and I'm excited to bring obviously a video version of my Rants from Raves podcast today. We're going to do a demo. I love product demos as we lead towards InfoComm. Everyone's moving towards this big InfoComm 2019. We have big expectations for the show. And one of the companies that's going to make a big splash at the show is called QuirkLogic. You can check them out at QuirkLogic.com, QUIRK logic.com. And I'm joined with Mike Mabey, who's the CTO, and Tamara Drake, who's the Director of Product Management, and they're going to do a demo for us. Did I get all that right? Did I say the names right and everything?
You got it perfect. Yes, thank you.
I appreciate it. So tell us, first off, who QuirkLogic, I think most people know who QuirkLogic is, but just in case, who is QuirkLogic and where do they fit into the ecosystem of the commercial AV market?
So the QuirkLogic is a Canadian company, actually, and we are selling interactive boards that gives us a very unique solution in the collaboration space. So used very heavily inside, say, boardrooms, but it can be used elsewhere. Anywhere where you do any kind of ideation or any kind of visual expression of ideas, this is the perfect product for it.
And from my view, it looks almost like two vertically mounted flip charts that are kind of electronic. And that's what I'm hoping to see here because I know a little bit about the product. I'm excited about this. So why don't you kind of do a demo and show everybody what it can do?
Oh, that's excellent. We'd love to do that. Okay, so what we have here is basically the world's largest e-writer. It's a very different kind of product, and it's all about collaboration and brainstorming. And historically, if you were going to brainstorm with a product that you would use a pen with, you're basically down to two choices that you've got. The first one is analog, so that's flip charts and whiteboards. And those are fairly limiting. You're not going to be able to take information from room to room and be able to share it. And digital is your other choice, but those typically are difficult to use. Now, Quilla is a very interesting mix of the two. It's got the simplicity of analog, of writing with the pen, but it has the full power of digital at the same time. So the unique technologies that are in the Quilla include, there's an e-ink display here. It's a power-sipping display. That makes this thing a very thin and light and gives it a paper-like feel. And in fact, we built it with an aspect ratio of 4:3 that feels like a flip chart.
Yeah.
Now, we also have combined it with technology which includes a very precise pen with differentiated touch as well. And this gives us an unprecedented walk-up and use capability with this product. You can never convince it not to be a writing surface. And with us, it's not just about the device either. It's about an ecosystem that we've built around these devices too. So the ideas that you capture on here, they travel with you. They travel with the user. So they're easily shared across time, location, and devices. So now, why do we do this? Well, the Quilla and the ecosystem is really all about productivity. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'll turn over the demo to Tamara Drake.
All right.
The product.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Mike. So as you can tell from Mike's introduction, there was a lot of thought went in behind the creation of Quilla. So many devices on the market right now, yet so many people still use those regular flip charts and whiteboards. And so we did a little research and we came down to two basic things. The reason why people are still using the devices they are is because the new technology is too difficult and the setup is complicated. In certain cases, you have to have 4 people to even take the device out of the box. Then you need the IT group, and you need the AV group, and then you need a training group before you even can get started. And sometimes that can be days. Well, we've simplified all that. It's our Quilla. We're not complicated. So you get your Quilla, you open the box, you take it out, and by the way, it weighs 23 pounds, so I can take it out, no problem whatsoever. You take it out and you turn it on and it looks just like this. There's no user interface presenting you, no complication, nothing like that. It's simply a piece of paper and you have a pen. You pick the pen up and you start to write. You flip it over and you erase. That's as difficult as it is to use. It's basically pen on paper. Now, not just that, as Mike talked about, we've also built a ton of functionality in there so you can interact with this thing too as well. So what I can also do with the touch technology is I can select what it is that I've written there, and with simple touch gestures, I can move that around, I can resize it, I can interact with the ink that we have there. Now, to give you an example of that, I'm going to come up with a use case that we normally have here. There's lots of meetings. So for every meeting, we usually have an agenda. So let's use our Quilla for our agenda today. So today we have an agenda that starts out with some intros. Oh, let's always talk about our objectives. That's a given. And you can see how easily I can write all this. And then we're going to talk about next steps. So I have my content on there, but now I'm going to change it because I've forgotten some things in here. So normally you have to go find an eraser, or I'd have to scratch out something that I had on my flip chart, not with Quilla. So with Quilla, I can simply select this text and I can move it down. So I can interact with that ink. So now what I can do is I can add in the fact that we're going to put a demo in here. And maybe let's not do intros. I want to change what I'm doing up here. Today we're going to do a state of the, oh no, I ran out of room. We've all been there. You've had a whiteboard or a flip chart and you don't have enough room. We've taken care of that for you too as well with Quilla. Simply 2 fingers and you pan over and now you have more room to put your content.
And is that digital canvas basically that's behind there? Is it infinity, or is there a limit to that, or how does that work?
Well, we like to think of it as infinity. Everything has a limit. We certainly didn't make it as big as the universe, but we've made it big enough that you will not hit the limits that we have. So as much as you want to do, keeping in mind then, of course, when you bring it back, it will actually fit it to the screen too as well. So if you go to print that out, then it's gonna shrink it down so that it all fits on the page. But basically, you can keep doing that as much as you want, then create as many pages as you want, or even workbooks that you want. You know, what I'm going to cover now is all the things that we've done to make sure that, you know, Quilla has simplified everything. So you never have to worry about saving. Every ink stroke that's made on here is automatically saved. So don't worry about losing your content. There's a battery that's in here too as well that will run for 16 hours. Even if the battery drains, your content is all saved. You don't have to worry about it. Reuse the content. So everything I create here, no longer am I going to take a picture of it and put it in my laptop or my camera and never reuse it again. I can bring the content back in again. I can interact with it. I can use it. So I don't have to try to recreate my thought process. You can reuse all that content. I can also share it. So I can be in a brainstorming session. After it's done, I can choose who I want to send it to, what permissions I want to have on that, how I want to share it out. I never have to worry about my content getting out there when I don't know where it's going, all under my control. And of course, all this is discoverable too as well. So as you saw in the beginning, there's no complicated user interface. It's pen on paper. But as you get more comfortable with it, you discover the power of the Quilla, which now leads us into our ecosystem. So initially, when we built our Quilla systems, we wanted to make sure that we built it with the objective that you'd be able to collaborate. So you can see I have 2 here now. And I've been primarily using this one here, and they don't have to be located side by side. Simple Wi-Fi connection, and they can actually collaborate from anywhere in the world. So let's just say, for an example today, well, I am in Calgary, so you know that's a given. But let's just say Mike has his Quilla in New York, and we want to collaborate on something together. So what I can do just from Quilla to Quilla is I can say, you know what we're going to do is we're going to sync up here, and what that's going to do is it's going to take Mike to the page that I'm currently on. Now, we can collaborate on this, and I can say, you know what, Mike, I think the most important thing that we need to focus on is the save feature, and you can see that that information was automatically updated. Again, he can be anywhere in the world. Not just that, but Mike, what can you do from New York?
Well, I can say that I also believe that the ability to discover is super important as well, and I can highlight that. And that'll be shared with you back in Calgary.
And you can see that's real-time collaboration. So this is how we initially built the Quilla out. In the last year, however, we've also come out with some different applications. What we realized is that we also need to build the ecosystem out so that it can interact with devices we all use. Hey, we live and breathe by our phones. We want to make sure that we always have them with us. So we built out both an Android and an iOS app too as well. So not only can you see the content, but you can interact. So Mike, do you want to show what that looks like?
So Gary, I'm just going to bring this closer to the camera so that you can see that it's got the same content that's on the back.
Now,
you can interact with it, annotate on that content as well?
Exactly. So Mike, show us how you can interact.
Absolutely. So I could be in the airport, let's say, and I'm listening in on this conversation. I say, well, hey, this is good, but I'm going to clean that out and say, you know, what's really important to me is share. I want to really underline that and make sure that everybody sees that in both Calgary over there and New York over here.
That's really cool. And let me ask you, since you mentioned you have an iOS and an Android app, what about if you're on a laptop or a desktop computer and you're joining a meeting? How does that work?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that will be coming. So at the moment, it's available through the mobile devices, but that is an excellent question. We're continually extending the ecosystem, and we will be adding in both Mac and PC in the near future as well.
And what's the limit? I mean, is there even a limit to how many people can join and collaborate at the same time? Or is there, I guess it's, maybe there's no limit. It's just realistically how many people are going to be in a meeting at one time, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think that's more of the realistic thing. So the technology we use here, the database technology, is highly scalable. Yeah. So we don't foresee hitting any limits in the near future.
And what's cool is that, from what I understand from what you've said, it's e-ink technology. So the only time that the battery's being used or the power's being addressed or the board's being addressed is when you're making a change. So right now, I guess it's in its rest state. So my next question is going to be, so is this battery powered as well, or do you have to have it plugged in, or is it a PoE, or how does it work?
That is an excellent question. So right now it's on a device and the back is providing power. It's on the mount, but you can just take it off the mount and it'll immediately switch to running on battery. And the battery power on here, you're absolutely right. The e-ink technology requires no energy to update the display. Once it's written, it's there. So this uses like 5% of the power of any other interactive device. So the battery will last 16 hours. You just take it away and use it.
This is really neat. So this is actual true e-ink technology.
It is.
It absolutely is, yeah.
And it's just the ease of pen on paper. So we've made it so that it's simplified, that you don't have all the complications that's out there now, right? Everything has been too complicated. So, I mean, we like to look at it, that pen on paper, and what it comes down to is we've created Quilla, and it's basically powerful, but it's simple. So,
yeah, so I have some logical questions that people are going to probably ask. First off, I mean, in sharing it, like ultimately you could just email this content to whoever you wanted to email it to, I guess, or does it have some sort of SMTP server, or how does that work?
I'll actually show you. So one of the real advantages of having the mobile application is inside the mobile application, you have full access to all of the content that you have on here. And through here, you can import and export very, very easily. You just say export to, and it'll create a PDF file of whichever pages that you wish to export to, and you can just email it directly from the device. You can drop it into Dropbox. You can send it to a printer from here. You can also import as well too. So you can take a photo and then immediately bring the photo in here, and you can import any kind of document or anything you have as well. And so then, very, very simple to do it through here. You're also able to do it through the device itself too. There's USB.
Yeah. Okay, but so what about price of each one of these units approximately? What is the price range of something like this?
So the hardware, the units are about $3,500.
Okay. Yeah,
and they'll come with a maintenance plan as well that also gives you online accounts to allow you to do the collaboration as well too.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's a neat technology. It's very simple. I like the concept of the simplicity. And as meeting collaboration becomes even simpler, meaning a lot of people think every time you're going to have a meeting, you're going to have a complicated meeting. But a lot of times you're just going in and brainstorming. And you have a quick way to do it where you don't have to turn on the projector and use a control system. You just want to collaborate. And you don't want to have flip charts. I mean, flip charts are sort of like a 1980s kind of thing. And the problem with a flip chart, obviously, is that the content is only as good as the moment that you have it until you crumple it up and throw it away. And where do you put it? At your desk. And this is always with you. So this is a really neat product. I saw this on the show floor last year, and I thought this had some great potential. And with these this new functionality and where you are now at the product, this is going to be an amazing. You're going to have a great Infocom show.
Oh, thank you very much.
And of course,
on the floor.
Yeah, and it's at QuirkLogic.com, QuirkLogic.com. Mike and Tamara, I really appreciate you doing this. I know that doing videos like this on the fly without any editing sometimes can be overwhelming, but you did a fantastic job, and I think people are really going to enjoy watching this. I love doing demos like this, and this will encourage people to go to your booth, check out the product, and of course, obviously, if you want to become a dealer for this product, then you should contact or go to the booth and make sure to go on to QuirkLogic.com. And of course, I see applications in this in meeting spaces and educational applications easily. I'm sure you can think of more. I mean, I think healthcare, there's an awesome application for this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that you've probably got a neat little niche product here that's going to do really well. So congratulations.
Gary, thank you very much.
Yes,
Really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And I'll put in links where you can see all these products online. And also, we'll be recording demos, videos. We'll actually go to the show and we'll record videos. So those of you who aren't going to InfoComm, we're going to do a bunch of videos, not only on the show floor, but inside the QuirkLogic booth as well. So you'll be able to see the products that they show at the show. And, of course, the links on the description of this podcast include links directly to the products that we're showing here and the people that are presenting. So thanks a lot for joining me, everyone, and have a great day. All of our InfoComm coverage is at ravepubs.com.